Many people ask me, when will the aliens come? The aliens, our galactic family, if you want to call them. And in this video, I want to touch a few points exactly on this matter. When will the aliens come? So, of course, we all know mathematically the probability of us being alone in the universe is very, very small. It's actually so small that it's infinity small. And we know that there's others. But have we pondered the possibility that there's a reason why others don't contact us? There is a galactic rule, or you can say universal rule, although I'll go into what's the difference between the galaxy and the universe, because there seems to be two different things. The universe seems to not exist, or it can exist in multiple galactical form. Every galaxy has its own physical attributes, its own rules, if you want to call it. And right now, let's focus on our galaxy. So, in the Milky Way galaxy, there's 100 billion stars. Of course, we already said that there's probably other civilizations. So the reason that they're coming or not coming, or they're already here but they're not showing themselves, is first is the global consciousness has not selected it. People are not ready for it just yet. You might be ready for it because you know you're the type of person that watched X-Files and read conspiracy theories and understand that people are hiding things from us, like governments and different systems and Illuminati and Cabal and people that are, pulling the strings behind. Plus, there's the whole idea of technology. Now, the reason that aliens don't come yet, is because we're not ready. We will be ready very, very, very soon. That's why right now what you're seeing is that the media is bringing out some information. For example, the United States just showed that they have pictures of 3 UFOs that they just don't know how to explain. By the way, it got washed away with all the coronavirus of 2020. Nobody even noticed that they did that. But they're slowly dripping all that type of information out there. Now, there's one thing that you should consider, that aliens are already here. We are those aliens. We are called the second wavers, the people that are interested in this type of stuff, Breatharianism, again, conspiracy theories, prana, and stuff like that. You are already built-in alien. That means that you are born, you are incarnated as an alien into a human being form. And that's why sometimes you feel like you're missing a home that you don't know that exists. And sometimes you don't really know why people think the way they are and it doesn't make sense to you, or you don't understand why there's so much suffering in the world as well, because you're not from here. A lot of people that I teach, for example, in the Breatharian initiations, they say that it's more natural to them to not eat. Why? Because you came from a higher vibration, and it makes sense. Now, aliens did come a few times. Alien crashed here, and we have evidence of that. We have so much, there's piles of evidence of technology that didn't exist. For example, microwaves and computer chips that didn't exist, and in 1 week, in 2 weeks, suddenly it existed, okay? That means that there's somebody that is making some type of connection, reverse engineering maybe from spaceships. There's other technologies that we know United States have, we know different governments have. For example, anti-gravity devices. There's already videos of them, and of course the media doesn't want us to know about it, and the governments they want to have the upper hand in technology, especially in case of war. So there's anti-gravity devices, and there's free energy devices. In other words, the ability to create as much energy as we want. And they took them, they reversed engineered them. It's either that it was given to us as a part of an exchange, or we took it away, reverse engineered it from a UFO that crashed here, or we have, some sort of binding or contracts with them. Now, there's many different stories, what to believe and what not to believe. Does it make sense to you that we are alone in the universe? Probably not. So, there is a rule that says that they shouldn't touch us unless our governments, the people that we have chosen to represent us in a democratic way, a method, which I don't believe in, by the way. I don't really believe much in the democracy that they display to us, because they kind of given us two choices, and those two choices are both in the box. And we want the choice that's out of the box. We want the people to be united. We want the people to be able to make that choice. And what they're telling you is, this is what you can see right now, and this is the options that we're giving you. But none of those options are viable for us. We don't even want that. So what they're saying is that they've contacted the governments, and the governments are sure that humanity is not ready for that yet. Plus, there's all this technology going around, and there's control of the masses. How do we gain control? Using fear. Imagine that there are other sentient beings, and you're not one of them. The first thing that happens is that you're afraid. What are you afraid of? Something that you don't know. What happens when you're afraid? You unite. Right now, we're divided. Each country has its own thing, its own economy, its own technology even. Import, export, taxes, control, mass control. What happens when you have somebody that comes from the outside? Suddenly, people are going to unite. Suddenly, we're going to be human again. And humanity is what we're going to have in common one with the other. So there's many things that are opening up slowly, but what you're going to notice is that the media is going to drip little bits of information, and as they are preparing us for that, because there's a huge war going on, really a huge war going on, and the last virus is a part of that. It's really the darkness shouting out, okay, shouting out, let me cleanse myself one last time before everything begins to create harmony. It's like you're cleaning your room, right? And as in the process of cleaning your room, you have to move everything outside of the room in order to clean it up just one more time before you set it up very nicely. And what I mean is that you're going to set up the economy very nicely. It's going to be not as disturbing as this one. No masses of people being in debt, for example. No centralized dollar or one country that controls the world. There's so many changes that are about to come, but before those changes, you have to have a big mess. There are a few types of alien beings. Some of them are high vibration, meaning 4D, 5D and up. They can come, change form, they can be a part of us, they can blend as a human being. While others are just like us, maybe slightly more developed or maybe slightly less developed. Now, there is the rule, the galactic rule, that as long as a species is still in the wartime and money time and religious time, we cannot approach them. We simply cannot approach them. They have to be able to comprehend, galactic family. And if they're aggressive in any way to themselves, it means that they're not ready yet. And we're moving out of that aggression slowly. I want you to notice the big things that are happening around the world. People are uniting. There is a higher consciousness occurring. There's the central sun of the galaxy is sending light codes to open up the human consciousness. So what you're noticing is that you're feeling slightly better than ever, and you don't even know why. You're kind of seeing things more optimistically, one might say. And you're just happy with things as they are. Sometimes there's ups and downs, like everybody has, some worries and stuff, but you already understand that you are in a different timeline than you used to be. There's less control, there's less fear for you. I'm not talking about everybody that is around you. I'm talking about you specifically, the type of people that follow me and follow my teachings and my guidance. You know it in your belly. So, the question, when will alien comes? Soon. Soon. They're already here. They're amongst us. They're checking us out, okay? There's so many different... If you listen to the Pleiadians channeling, for example, you'll understand that we are preparing something. This whole virus thing that happened in 2020, it's just because before, or when you go under the knife, as you might say, when you go into a surgery, they have to put you down for a while. Your body has to be numb in order for them to be able to cut deeply and make some very profound changes within the body, okay? And that's what we need to understand. We are preparing ourselves. This is an amazing time to be alive. An amazing time to be alive, really. I'm so excited. And you should consider the fact that your soul chose to incarnate in this time to help humanity, to help others. You are like a source of light, like a grid, and every one of us, the Lightworkers, are like a grid. And this is the reason why sometimes we feel so alone, and sometimes even abandoned and misunderstood, because we are the grid of light. The central sun is emanating towards our sun, which is emanating to us, and we are creating that grid. Our heart, the electromagnetic field around our heart emanates who we are, the higher vibration. And there's only a few million of people like this around the world, really, only a few million people, and that's all we need. It's like a human body, and the cells of the consciousness are the ones that are leading it in some way, vibrationally, yeah? Not better or worse, just here for a reason. There is a job for every one of us. So, I hope I clarified and answered the question. The one thing that we can do is ask for guidance and assistance, but don't expect it to happen by itself. You know, we are the ones that we are waiting for. They are not going to give us all the solutions unless we ask for it, unless enough of humanity will actually want it and not be afraid of them. And maybe you consider yourself to be a conscious, enlightened human being, and maybe you will think, I'm going to see an alien in the street and I won't panic, but maybe you will. We don't really know how we're going to react. You know, we can visualize it, we can imagine it, but we don't really know how we're going to react. The way I visualize it is that I'm asking for personal guidance, and I'm saying, and I'm preparing myself for this, that if somebody from the inner dimensions or from the higher dimensions will want to come and assist me so I can help others, I want him to come from the back door, and I want you to just open the door and look at me. And I will be prepared for that. So everyone should have that type of visualization that they can work with. Some people ask for the UFOs to, you know, just beam some light so they'll know that they're there. Some people ask for the experience itself, and others don't need the experience. You're asking for it, but you don't need it because you already know that aliens and UFOs, that all these things already exist. So they don't have to present it to you. Sometimes they show up just to present it to you. Why? Because you need it. You need that extra belief, just a little bit, for it to become a knowingness. That's it, my friends. Namaste, and have a beautiful time.